Okay, let's dive right into this fascinating explainer. Today, we're unpacking a highly complex theological framework from Daesun Jinri Ho. And honestly, what we're looking at isn't just a simple set of moral guidelines. It's a massive, profound narrative about a literal breakdown of the universe itself. So let's jump straight into their texts and figure out exactly how you go about fixing a broken cosmos.
We're starting with a pretty wild, provocative premise here. What actually happens when the divine beings who run the universe just can't cope anymore? According to the source material, the universe is currently in the middle of a massive, systemic management failure. The natural order is collapsing, and it's not because of some random string of bad luck, but because the cosmic administration has fundamentally broken down at the highest levels.
To make sense of this incredibly deep philosophical structure, we're going to map it out in 4 parts. First, the cosmic crisis. Second, heaven and earth works. Third, divine-human cooperation. And finally, the earthly paradise.
Part 1. The Cosmic Crisis.
This scene perfectly captures just how bad things have gotten. We're seeing heavenly beings gathered together at the heavenly pagoda, or Chongyetap. The texts tell us that cosmic management has failed so spectacularly that these gods are literally pleading with the supreme god for a fix. They're essentially throwing their hands up, admitting the universe is on the brink of annihilation, and they are totally powerless to stop it.
Now here's where it gets super interesting. You might think a cosmic collapse comes from, meteors or dying suns, but the theology completely flips that on its head. It actually comes down to human resentment. The texts describe how humans emitting killing energy, which basically means deep-seated resentment and profound grievances, has totally saturated the universe. This toxic emotional buildup has caused way more disruption than any astronomical event, literally turning heaven and earth upside down.
So the really crucial takeaway here is that this crisis, it's two-sided. On one side, the gods are trapped in something called Bijab, which is a tribulation of absolute disconnection and blocked communication. Then, on the flip side, humans are suffering from Jayak. Because the gods are trying to manage the forces of nature without physically experiencing them, their sheer mismanagement leads to devastating natural disasters, floods, droughts, storms that everyday humans are just forced to endure.
To really wrap our heads around this divine tribulation of Bijap, the source materials offer a fantastic, highly relatable analogy. Imagine a room packed with brilliant university professors. Every single one is a world-class expert in their own department. Like, you've got a master of the wind over here and a lord of the mountains over there. But because they are so hyper-specialized, they literally cannot communicate with each other. They speak completely different academic languages. This renders these incredible experts completely useless as a group. That exact lack of cross-departmental communication is the very essence of Bijap.
Moving on to Part 2. Heaven and Earth Works.
Okay, we need to clearly define a term here. Chanji Gongsa. When you hear works, you probably picture physical construction, right? Hammers, nails, hard hats. But Chanji Gongsa is actually an administrative, cosmic restructuring. Think of it more like a massive software update or a total reprogramming of the universe's operational framework designed to finally patch out the bugs that are causing the whole system to crash.
Now, according to Daesun Thought, this immense reprogramming couldn't just be phoned in from afar. It actually required the supreme god, Sungjae, to physically descend into the human world. It's a breathtaking concept when you think about it. The ultimate cosmic architect literally stepping inside the failing system. By taking human form, Sungjae could diagnose the specific glitches in the cosmic program and actively restore Sungdo, which translates to the normal, rational, and harmonious way the universe is actually supposed to run.
And when we look directly at the original source texts, it's explicitly laid out. Sangjae's Heaven and Earthworks was specifically engineered to tackle both sides of the crisis we just talked about. It was designed to rescue the divine beings who were trapped in that communication breakdown of Bijap, while simultaneously saving humanity from the catastrophic physical fallout of Jayak.
That takes us to Part 3, Divine-Human Cooperation. This is where we hit the ultimate fix, Sinewido, or divine-human cooperation. This is a massive, radical departure from traditional theology. It's a foundational principle dictating that the universe simply cannot be run by gods alone anymore. To prevent another complete cosmic meltdown, there absolutely has to be a cooperative, working partnership, a strictly mutual reliance and guidance between the divine realm and the mortal realm.
So what exactly does each side bring to this cosmic partnership? Well,
The gods provide myung. That's their brilliant, highly specialized expertise and absolute clarity. But, they're a bit cold and rigid. Humans, on the other hand, provide jung, which is the uniting emotion, empathy, and deep compassion that the gods inherently lack. Both of these traits are absolutely required if you want a balanced universe.
So how does this actually solve the crisis in practice? By injecting human empathy, that powerful jung, right into the mix, the rigid communication barriers between those hyper-specialized gods are finally dissolved. Human emotion acts like cosmic glue. It forces those professor-like gods to finally understand each other and work together. Humans provide the vital integration that the divine specialists are simply incapable of achieving on their own.
Talk about a massive paradigm shift, right? For all of history, the relationship was completely one-sided. Humans merely prayed to, feared, and depended entirely on the gods. But this framework demands that in the future, gods actually have to rely on human guidance and emotional connection to maintain cosmic harmony. We're no longer talking about a master and servant dynamic here. It's an equal cosmic partnership where both sides actively rely on each other.
And finally, Part 4, the earthly paradise. The texts are very careful to clarify what this paradise actually means, because it's easy to get confused. They aren't talking about Dawa as in a mythical, fairy tale, peach blossom utopia, a place that doesn't really exist. Instead, they use a different Dalwa, which means Thou transformation. This signifies a real, tangible, physical world that has been completely transformed and perfected by truth and ultimate cosmic harmony.
The real-world results of this divine-human cooperation are absolutely profound. We're talking about the complete resolution of all historical grievances, effectively wiping out that terrible killing energy once and for all. It establishes a perfect yin-yang harmony, and fascinatingly, it even implies an infinite human lifespan. Which makes sense, right? If humans are essential partners managing the universe side by side with immortal gods, they kinda need to stick around to do the job.
To wrap up this explainer, we are left with a truly fascinating philosophical question. If humans and gods are equal partners rather than servants and masters, how does that fundamentally change our view of our own potential? What does it say about our profound responsibility in the grand scheme of the universe? It's a totally different way of looking at humanity's true place in the cosmos, and definitely something worth deeply pondering.